Hey guys, this is Rise and I'm here with Clazart bringing you a dual commentary between CJ Ennis and Team Estro. So obviously Clazart is interested in this matchup because we got a certain little Savior fan with us, but we'll have to see if Savior ever manages to come out for his team because this is the Winners League, and as you guys should know by now, the Winners League is an all-kill format, and what that means is whoever wins the first match goes on to play the second match, and if he wins the second match, he plays the third, and so on until one of the teams wins. So whatever team gets to 4 wins first will take the match, and we're going to be starting off with Iris for CJ Ennis playing against Sunny Fu for Team Estro. Now, you may not have heard of Sunny Fu, because I sure haven't, but he's one of the new players on Team Estro, at least new in the Pro League, and so not too much to say about him in terms of statistics or anything like that. He's doing okay, I guess. He's got a 35% win rate right now, so really not doing that great. But either way, you know, this should be a pretty interesting match. Both players certainly hungry to win this. We do have Iris the Berserker, who is a good TVT player, over 50% win rate, whereas Sunny Fu is under 40%, I believe. So I can only imagine that this is going to go to Berserker or Iris's favor. Clazard, do you have any predictions on these two huge household names we got here?
Yeah, I ain't no fool. I ain't Sunny Fu. Sunny Fu, sorry guys, I apologize. Sunny Fu is in orange at the top left-hand corner at the 11 o'clock position. Iris at the bottom right, playing Terran in white. I am a huge fan of Iris. He is a great Terran player, and sometimes he can really pull out all the stops. Where he really excels is his Terran versus Zerg. I've seen him play some great Terran versus Zerg. One of the few players who's been a thorn in Savior's, who was a thorn in Savior's side, even when Savior was at his prime. And despite being teammates, those two guys had some fearsome clashes. So my prediction would be to go with tried and tested Iris. I think he's just going to be too experienced and just too solid for the rookie to handle. And yeah, he's probably going to take this game. Coloseum obviously is the map, and it's not a surprise that both teams have put out Terran players. I'm not sure if Estro have any really amazing Protoss players in their lineup. Otherwise, I think they might have been tempted to throw one into the fray. And I think probably the same goes for CJ. I don't think CJ have any amazing Protoss players either. So there definitely does seem to be a dearth of godlike Protoss players, of really high-skilled Protoss players right now in the StarCraft Pro scene, with SK Team 1 seeming to have 2 of the best in Bisu and Best.
Yeah, I think that we probably won't see too much Protoss here. I'm guessing we're going to see a lot of Terran, but either way, I agree. I think that Berserker is going to be the one to pull this one out. He is, as you said, when he's on, he is certainly a force to be reckoned with. But if he's off, he's one of the worst players in the league. So if he's on, I think we're going to have a really good game on our hands. And they are cross positions. I don't know if we called out the positions or not, but Berserker is at the bottom right, or Iris. I don't know. I have yet to decide what I feel like calling him throughout the match. And Sunny Fu is in the top left. So just so you guys know for when we're playing this going through, because TVTs can get pretty confusing. And both players going for what look to be pretty standard openings. I think that there is a forward building being built for Iris at the bottom right. It looks like he's making a forward racks out there. So he's going to be using that for scouting purposes, of course. It is a forward racks. And, nope, sorry, that was a different map. And whereas Sunny Fu just going to stick within his base. It looks like he was going to make a Marine, but he decided to cancel it for I don't know what reason. And I guess he's just going to try to scout in the meantime and see what he can find. Both players are, ironically enough, scouting cross positions and finding each other right away. So a little bit odd that they both went cross positions. Maybe some map hacks in the works. But anyway, it looks like Berserker is going to be getting down his first factory. And you know, I don't know if we're going to see a fast expansion type game from these players or quick 2-fact, but we have been seeing a lot of Vulture play in TVT, so I can only expect that we'll see some more of that today.
Yeah, Terran versus Terran can be boring, but it can be great as well. Unfortunately, it tends to evolve into a heavy macro versus macro battle and a battle for position. But Coloseum is one of those maps where maneuverability is key, so I expect dropships to play a huge role on Coloseum and to try and control. It just depends on if one of the players, and it looks like Iris is now starting up, both players with virtually identical builds. I don't think there's a difference of a hair's breadth between them, except maybe I think Sunny Fu might have made a single Marine more than Iris, who I think made only the single Marine, unless he produced a second one that I haven't seen. Iris now once again bringing his SCV around to scout. That's going to get spotted by the barracks, and the 2 Marines are going to stop it from getting through, and that's exactly what happens. But unless one of these players can landlock the other opponent, then they'll be forced to go dropship. But if it's a fairly even game, then I think it's going to come down to dropship play and who's able to use maneuverability better. And we're already seeing the vultures out. First vulture out for Iris. By the way, I totally agree that we should use Iris as opposed to Berserker. It's a lot more subtle and profound and mysterious, and has something about it as opposed to Berserker, which is, I would argue, slightly cliched. And Iris brilliantly using his vulture to sneak his SCV through and get the scout off, and he's seen his opponent's build and he's got the scout off. So that's great play by Iris, on the money early on in this game.
Yeah, and you can never underrate the value of a scout, especially at this point in the game where you don't know what the other player's got. They don't have comsat, so they can't just map hack it and figure out exactly what their build should be. So, there needs to be some clever play in order to find out. And it looks like Sunny Fu was trying to do the same that Iris just did to him, trying to sneak a vulture through, but it is picked off before it can get any more information for Sunny. So he is not going to see the second factory going down for Iris, but I can only imagine that he's assuming, based off of the unit count that he saw there and the units that were out, that is in fact what's going on. Looks like we're going to see a second machine shop coming down for Sunny Fu, so it looks like we may see some quickly upgraded vultures, and again, using that forward barracks to get a full scout on the base of Sunny, and I mean, that is huge. We saw this in a lot of TVT games. The player that has more information and the better information is the player who can make the better decisions, and now Sunny is just playing purely off of game sense until his barracks manages to get its way over there. And now an armory going up for Iris, so he may even be able to delay that barracks from getting a full scout on him. So, it all comes down to information in the beginning stages of the game, of course, and then later on, I agree. I think this is going to be a great map for dropship play, of course, with a lot of containment or efforts to contain going on.
Yeah, it's just all going to be about who has the better positional sense, who's willing to take the right risk at the right time. Starport now going up for Iris, so it looks like I've no doubts that he's going to put up a control tower. Although we have seen some interesting games recently in Terran versus Terran with players actually opting to just produce raids and use them for spot and scouting, and that seems to work well as well. I don't think he's going to be able to deny the scout on the barracks. Unfortunately, that barracks is going to float over and get the scout over Iris's base because Iris isn't going to have the Goliaths out on time. But yeah, it looks like we're setting up for a heavy macro war here. Sunny Fu was slightly ahead in terms of getting his and it does look like he's producing at least a single raid from it. Sunny Fu now pushing out with a couple of siege tanks and marauding around with his vultures. Iris so far seemed to be content to stay in his base, but now he's going to push out. So we're going to see some action between these two players here right now. Sunny Fu did have a slight advantage, and now 4 tanks for Iris against Sunny Fu through in the middle. Sunny Fu isn't doing anything. He's gotten caught with his pass down. He's lost 2 of his tanks already. The vultures are going back. The vultures are retreating. Meanwhile, he's got Goliaths out to clear out. Sunny Fu's going to try and counter by doing some damage to Iris's economy with his vultures in Iris's base. He's now setting up, and oh my god, he loses one of the Goliaths already to Spider Mines, and Iris might be in a little bit of trouble because neither of these players have any detection, and Sunny Fu, even though he's lost his siege tanks, is now inside Iris's base and killing SCVs at will.
Wow, I mean, that's huge. The amount of vultures that he has isn't really that great of a number, but you multiply that by 3 and you get the amount of spider mines that he can plant down, and that makes all the difference when, like you said, there's no detection for either player. So only vultures can save Iris until he gets that detection up, because he will lose a lot of Goliaths and tanks to those if he's not careful. But instead, he's counterattacking Sunny, and he's going to take down that command center, or at least the SCV building it, before Sunny can actually manage to get it down. And that's going to be huge. I mean, that's a huge, that could have been a huge economic advantage for Sunny, but instead, he's going to be delayed, and it's going to allow Iris to make sure that he keeps up economically, or on the other hand, just prevents him from getting that economic advantage at all. And now we see a dropship coming out, so we're going to see some dropship play already. This is pretty early in the game for it, well, or I guess he decided to just bring it out at this point, and he's able to probably harass him more. And here we see a barracks going back down for Sunny, so he was definitely slowed down, having to rebuild that barracks in order to build more factories, having lost it to the Goliaths of Iris. So now, and here the vultures come, and they're going to be able to lay siege a little bit on those SCVs that are mining. Stop that mining. Now, of course, that means Sunny's only mining from 1 base at this point for at least the time being, so that is going to slow him down and help Iris get back into the game a little bit economically, having lost a few SCVs himself.
Yeah, Iris was forced to pull back his siege tanks. It's interesting, both players have traded blows here. It's really hard to tell which, if any of the players, is at an advantage. Iris with some useful vulture micro, although he's not really doing, he didn't really do a great job of loading and dropping the vultures as he could have, but now he's picked his vultures up and he's retreating and he's done a decent amount of economic damage. I think Iris probably lost more SCVs than Sunny did between the two battles, and Iris is also now getting up his off expo, his second expo up just north of his base. Sunny obviously got his command center up a little earlier, that's what he went for, and those spider mines continue to harass Iris in his base, and he really needs to, he's not getting his comm sets up, he really needs to take all of those spider mines out, because Sunny continues to get scouting information from that spider mine in Iris' base, and is able to tell, he was able to see the dropship because of that. Now he's got Goliath as well, although he really wasn't able to anticipate it and do much damage against it, unfortunately for Iris. And Iris now once again going for another drop at the main natural expo of Sunny, and almost losing his dropship in the process, just managed to rescue it in time. But Iris is trying to set up a small mini blockade in the middle of the map just outside Sunny's base and try and catch him. And this is a dangerous time of the game for Iris. He is a little bit exposed because he doesn't have really the units to set up a complete contain, and it is a little bit of a risk, but if he can set it up, then he's going to put himself in a really strong position to win the game. Sunny, meanwhile, has obviously secured his second expo, and looks like Iris might actually be trying to go for a push for it, but he needs those dropships to aid him if he's actually going to do that, and his dropship is heavily damaged. So it's going to be interesting. No, he's actually just trying to set up a blockade. And Sunny is the player who really needs the dropships more than Iris does right now. But right now, Iris is the player with the maneuverability advantage.
Yeah, the mobility factor of a game in TVT is huge. And I mean, right now, Iris has it. He also is establishing map control. Two of the most important things in any TVT match, arguably in any match to begin with, between any two races, and the fact that he's got 3 dropships out at this point, whereas Sunny is just now putting up that starport, is going to allow him to continue to force the issue of having map control. And here we see Sunny trying to push out, but he's got a much superior force to take out those 2 tanks. He's only going to have to siege up 2. He's going to only take about 1 or 2 shots from those tanks of Iris, and now Iris is going to be forced to reconsider his tactics here. He's going to pull back for the moment. He's going to try to set up a perimeter around the right side, almost a flank of sorts, but of course it's an immobile flank because they're siege tanks. And at the same time, he's got his dropships loading up, but I don't know what he's deciding to do with them at this point. Right now, he's got 4 dropships. I don't know if they're full of units or not, but if he chooses, he can do a lot of damage if he picks the right spot to drop them, which, I mean, I got to say that he's probably got great game sense, having been a past OSL finalist, not champion, but finalist. He's certainly good enough to do that, but right now, he can't seem to make up his mind. As vultures continue to try to harass him, he needs to make sure that he defends his base at the same time, and if all of his troops are in the dropships and away from his base, he's not going to be able to use them to their greatest effect. But it looks like he is going to try to start, or I guess he's posturing with them. He's going to start using them to try to do some damage. And oh, a bit of a contain finally working and taking Sunny's troops out as he tries to back up. So I don't know if that was luck or foresight, but he did a pretty good job of a slight pincer, now dropping units. Nice job so far by Iris.
Yeah, Iris has now set up a mini contain. Still, Sunny has got a decent portion of the map. He's pushed Iris out from the initial contain that Iris had set up. And Iris, I think, is not really making best use of his drops. If he'd gone and dropped the secondary, his opponent's secondary, he might have been able to do serious damage, although there are a few turrets there. I think he could have afforded to take a dropship. The key advantage, I still feel Iris is a little bit ahead of him. Sunny now putting another expansion down at the 9 o'clock position. The key advantage that Iris has in this game is that he had 3 dropships when Sunny was still starting up his starport. So Iris has got 4 dropships, and now Iris is going to try and go for the secondary of Sunny, but I'm not sure if that's such a good... He's actually going to bypass that, but it's been scouted by Sunny. Sunny's going to see this coming, and Sunny's got turrets everywhere, and he's going to use a scout, and Iris might lose a dropship before he even manages to actually land anything. He's already lost one of his dropships, and this is going to hurt him big time. He is going to be able to drop in Sunny's main, and Sunny's coming back with a couple of dropships of his own. Sunny hasn't moved his SCVs away, though. He's losing a lot of SCVs, and there's going to be a big, massive battle between these 2 players here. Sunny drops as well, but Sunny only managed to drop 2 dropship worth of units. Iris had more units, and it's just a question of Iris is going to get taken down. Iris has managed to kill most of Sunny's reinforcements. Sunny's bringing more reinforcements in. Iris has managed to siege his tanks, but and he loses another dropship. Horrible for Iris, and now both players have 2 dropships, and I'm not sure if that attack was really worth it for Iris because he had the dropship lead, and I think Sunny realizes very cleverly he's put on a lot of turrets because you realize his opponent had the dropships earlier and had the extra mobility. Iris still doesn't have his own turrets are out. Meanwhile, Iris is trying to take the expansion at the bottom left-hand corner, there's going to be a fight. Or actually, is that Sunny? Sunny looks like he's putting another command center down. And Irish is sending a massive stream of tanks down the middle. And there's going to be a fight here between these two guys just in the left-hand side in the middle of the map. And it looks like Sunny with the position. Sunny's going to lose a dropship as well. Sunny's already lost one of his dropships. His second dropship is going to get taken out by Iris as well. Iris, for some reason, stopped firing with his Goliath at the dropship. So Iris not able to effect an attack. Iris was trying to send his forces in and take Sunny out at the bottom left-hand corner, the 7 o'clock position, but Sunny managed to intercept Iris' forces just in time because Iris lost his mobility. And Iris is actually in a little bit of trouble here because he sacrificed some of his mobility. He sacrificed 2 of his dropships in that attack, allowing Sunny to make a counter. And now Sunny is going to have a better economy than Iris, and Sunny's got decent map control on the left-hand side of the map. So Iris being the more aggressive player, but it looks like Sunny's counter-attacking play is helping him come out on top right now. And it's now his turn to set up a contain on Iris.
Well, you know, Iris calls himself the Berserker for a reason, and that's because he's kind of an impatient player. He's very aggressive, and right now I feel like we're watching a battle between the tortoise and the hare, and right now the shell is winning this match right now. He is regaining map control. He is regaining the economic advantage that he seeks in the TVT, and at this point he's just doing a great job. But Iris, on the other hand, has just spotted one of the expansions. He's dropping right all over it. It looks like he might be able to take it out, but we're going to see a counter drop in the meantime coming back from Sunny, but Sunny not controlling his dropships well at all, loses one of them. The other one probably going to be taken out in a second if he ever decides to focus on him. Yes, one goes down. The other one, yes, it goes down. So he's out of dropships. So now the mobility factor is back in Iris's play, and Iris is going to be able to take out most of those, if not all of those SCVs, and maybe even do some more damage to that command center and really reduce the effectiveness of it overall. So now Iris just doing a great job of making sure that he stays in this game. This is the beauty of a TVT. It all comes down to the dropships. One tactic can just bend the favor in the way of one player versus the other, and here we're just seeing it from Iris with superior tactics and dropship play compared to what Sunny's able to do.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure that Iris is really has. Yes, he did do a good amount of damage, but the problem for Iris is that Sunny has built up a larger fleet of tanks than Iris has. Iris has been bleeding tanks for some time now against Sunny, and Sunny didn't lose too many tanks in that battle against Iris. So Iris, because Sunny's got better position, Iris is going to lose another dropship. Iris loses another dropship to a single turret. This is horrible for Iris. He really can't afford this. He's making another drop this time at the 7 o'clock base and loses another dropship as well. So Iris is down to about 4 dropships as well. Sunny is positioning turrets quite well around the map, but Iris is actually going to be able to force at the very least a lift on this command center, if not a kill, and his dropship is going to help him do that. But yeah, Sunny actually got those 2 expansions going earlier than Iris because of the early advantage that Sunny gleaned from the fight between these two players, and that's what allowed Sunny to be able to expand faster. And Iris realized that he was getting behind in terms of his economy, and so he's been forced to make these drops and leave himself a little bit vulnerable in terms of not having a huge military force on the ground, which I still feel Sunny has a superior military force on the ground, though Iris has managed to cancel out that 7 o'clock expansion. But Iris, it definitely feels like Iris is coming back in the game. The question is at what cost? Sunny still seems to have, if you look at the map, the center of the map is still dominated by the Sunny, and a big problem for Iris is all the turrets that Sunny has set up all over the map, and Sunny's been doing a good job of targeting Iris' dropships as well, but Iris definitely seems to have a slight lead in that respect, and it looks like he's going to be able to set up another expansion here at the 2 o'clock position as well as at the 1 o'clock position.
Yeah, I agree with you, especially in terms of the unit count and things like that, but I just feel like this superior drop play is slowly bringing him back into the game. I don't know if he's definitely not there yet, because you're right, if you look at the map, it's still definitely in favor of Sunny. And here we see Sunny. The one thing that Iris is screwing up beyond belief is running his dropships across turrets. He's done it about 3 times now. He's lost at least 3 or 4 dropships in doing that, and now Sunny is sieging outside of the expansion that Iris is trying to get down, but he's not going to be able to succeed, not with the superior force sitting outside of his base. So really, Iris is definitely still on the ropes here, and unless he can really hit Sunny where it hurts, which so far, I mean, he managed to stop one of the expansions, but at the same time, Sunny has gotten, he's got, let me count there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases that are mining, no, 4 bases that are mining, and Iris is just now getting his 4th base, so really, Sunny has had that economic advantage. It looks like he's working on getting his 5th base as well, Iris that is. So I don't know if Iris has made his way back in, but really he's going to have to bump up that production if he's going to get there. And these random turrets for Sunny are doing a great job, and he's going to continue to plant them all over the map, which I think he should continue doing because he's getting free kills out of it. So we'll have to see if Iris can manage to start paying attention to what's going on here with his dropships. A little bit better micro would go a long way for him, and he wouldn't lose dropships full of units, which is the key there, which is possibly why he's got less units on the ground.
Yeah, definitely. Sunny has put up turrets all over the middle of the map, which is limiting Iris's mobility. But Iris, if you notice, has now got one expansion on top of Sunny's, and he's got them well defended. And Iris is actually now in a slightly more defensive posture than Sunny's. He's allowing Sunny to blockade the middle, but it doesn't bother him. If you see, Iris is blockaded and prevented Sunny from getting the main at the 7 o'clock expansion, and Sunny's going to have to use a lot of troops to try and break that, because Iris has put a good number of tanks there and he's denying Sunny the mining time on that. Sunny though has taken the off expo of the 1 o'clock expansion, but Iris, as you can see, has got 4 siege tanks as well as 4 turrets to defend that expansion, as well as the natural expansion of that is well defended. So Iris has got key positions on the map that he's defending very, very well. He's also built up his dropship fleet to about 6 dropships, and if he can actually make an effective attack with his dropship fleet and find a path around to actually make an attack with, he's going to be able to inflict serious damage on Sunny. Sunny's still nowhere near having the dropship count of Iris, and that's what has allowed Iris to actually be able to set up this defense. And you're absolutely right in that those few battles where, and again, Iris's dropship not bunched up. Iris is going to try and reinforce his forces and actually take this expansion down at the 7 o'clock position, and he's actually doing a great job of actually dropping ahead. Sunny's dropships are going to end up running right into it. A lot of SCVs there. Sunny's trying to get his dropships in play and get them in position, but Iris has got a massively superior force here compared to Sunny. The problem for Iris is that his force is on lower ground and is pincered. Iris gets the first blow on Sunny's tags. Iris manages to kill off Sunny's reinforcements, but Sunny has got a couple of siege tanks sieged in there with turret protection, and I'm not sure if Iris is going to be able to break this. So it looks like Sunny is just about going to hold that defense with the 1 siege tank, and Iris once again trying to intercept the dropships. And if Iris can take a couple of these dropships down, that's going to really help him. Sunny's still limited to about 3 dropships, so Iris has the Sunny has the high ground there and the defense, so he's probably going to be able to hold that defense. But it looks like Iris is going to be coming in with reinforcements soon, and when that comes, I have a feeling Iris is going to take this base, and if Iris manages to pull this next attack off, that will swing the game massively in his favor.
Yeah, definitely. He certainly is up on bases at this point, or at least even, which is very important, obviously, in any matchup. And at this point, he's having a lot of difficulty trying to get up there. And again, those turrets are deterring him, as turrets are supposed to do. So, really, Sunny just continuing to play very well with these turrets. But now Iris, though, seems to be deciding to start using his tanks on the ground a little bit, and he's clearing this out. But it looks like Sunny is trying to siege up and get him caught out of position, and he's able to catch a few, but Iris just has dropships full of units just escorting his units on the ground, and that's going to completely own anything that Sunny can send at him at this moment, because Sunny now Sunny seems to be the player that has less units on the ground or available to use, and while Iris doesn't have that many factories, really, he's pumping pure tanks and Goliaths, and I mean, that is a very strong unit combination. So here we're seeing, you know, the strength of this dropship build that he went, and really I think that the early dropships has certainly played into his hands, because right now he's just able to get all over the map, although really he shouldn't be stagnant for too long, because as soon as he starts slowing down, that's when Sunny might be able to get his way back into a favorable position inside this game, now that he has 5 dropships full of units. So we're going to see if he can counter drop. No, that's 6 dropships. I miscounted, but it looks like 7 or 8 for Iris. So we are now in the midst of dropship battles.
Yeah, and Iris, again, definitely being the aggressor, and he's got a massive army here, and we're going to see a key battle coming up between these two players. I'm not sure which base Iris is going for. Sunny's going to see this coming, and Sunny's going to bring his own dropships to try and counter. Iris is dropping behind Sunny's expansion, the natural expo of the 7 o'clock base at the 9 o'clock position, and Iris with a massive drop here. Now Iris has got reinforcements waiting as well. Sunny doesn't have reinforcements coming in, and the problem for Sunny is that he can't get those dropships out. Iris has actually blockaded the path for Sunny's dropships to escape, so Sunny's dropships coming under fire, and I do feel Iris is being a little bit careless with his Goliaths, but it looks like Iris is going to take this expansion down. Sunny's going to lose this expansion, and I think Iris, meanwhile, has killed another expansion of Sunny. So Sunny's in huge trouble here right now. He's definitely losing this off expansion at the 7 o'clock position, and Iris is slowly but surely taking a hold in this game, and his decision to put that early starport and control tower down and continue to pump dropships from it is what it looks to me has given him the advantage, despite the fact that Sunny had the earlier advantage in the game. It looks like Iris is now taking firm control of this game. Sunny has got maybe one more chance, because he has got a dropship group, an attack group filled with units of about 7 or 8 dropships, and if he can make some sort of really serious attack with that, he might be able to come back in this game, but he's really struggling right now.
And the thing that I got to say about Iris is he's not only got the dropships full, and look at this, he's going all race now. Oh, battle cruises! All right. Man, I've been ranting about this the past 3 TVTs I've done. I haven't seen battle cruises in a TVT in way too long, and so I hope I see him here. It looks like Sunny is going to counter drop, try to reclaim his expansion, but the thing that you got to remember is look at the dropships that Iris has. They're not only full of units, but he's escorting units as well, and oh man, he just loses dropships so careless, just dropping them all over turrets. So also taking some heavy fire, but man, look at the amount of tanks. It doesn't matter. Irish just has too many units because he was escorting other units. There was just no way for Sonny to be able to keep up with that, and he's still, even losing dropships left and right, still has 5 dropships that he can just ferry troops anywhere over the map with. And here we're seeing 3 starboards, and he's already got that other one, obviously, that he's been pumping dropships with to begin with. So we may see 4 battlecruisers coming out in the very near future. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm personally, I'm not a huge fan of the battlecruiser switch, especially when you're ahead. I think it makes sense if you're behind to try and win the game by trying to produce battlecruisers and try and force your opponent to do something different. But when you're ahead, and Iris is so ahead, he's killed 3 expansions of Sonny's, and Sonny hasn't been able to kill any of his. Iris cleared out the main as well as the secondary as well as the off expo at the 7 o'clock position, and both players again with a drop battle in the middle of the map. I think Sonny's actually going to probably come out on top of this one, and Iris realizing that runs away. Sonny is the person now with the dropship advantage. Sonny has about 7 or 8 dropships to Iris's 3 or 4, and the reason for that is because Iris is trying to make the switch to battlecruisers, and he is leaving himself a little bit vulnerable while he does that, because his opponent is going to have the mobility advantage, and it does take a little bit of time to get those battlecruisers going. And if Iris gets caught out of position, if Sonny is able to inflict some damage and scout those battlecruisers, then Iris is going to be in huge trouble here. Sonny is taking advantage of this opportunity to try and get his economy back on track. Iris definitely has the economic advantage, and he's got well defended. You can see that Iris has retreated a little bit behind the shell in his defenses, and he's allowed he's allowed Sonny to reclaim that 7 o'clock base and the left-hand side of the map, and I think he's doing that because he knows he's got his battlecruisers coming. And I'm not sure this is such a great move by Iris. He might very well be throwing a game that he pretty much won away by this choice of strategy here, but let's hope he isn't. Looks like he's sending some more units out to almost in a suicide attack. Siege tanks and Goliaths running right up the center without any dropship support for position, and he's losing a lot of units to Sonny's in-place defenses, and the only reason I can think of him doing that is to try and free up some psi and try and keep Sonny a little bit distracted and a little bit busy while he gets those battlecruisers out.
Yeah, but I don't know if he can really do that because he can only make 4 at a time. So really, he's just, if you ask me, he's just suiciding because those battle cruisers aren't going to, obviously they take up a lot of side, but they're not going to take up the amount that he just suicided. And it looks like he's got 3 or 4 there. It should be mentioned that he is upgrading Yamato. And look at this. Now it looks like he really might be trying to clear up Sai as he goes in attacking siege tanks with those SCVs. And he actually manages to take a couple out, so they weren't completely well, they were still kamikazes, but they were somewhat effective. And now here we're going to see, the thing is, he only has 4, and even if he doubles that to 8, I would imagine the upgrades, I haven't looked in a while, but the upgrades of Sonny probably are good enough where if he can make some Goliaths or something along those lines, or a bunch of Goliaths and just pump them out, he might be able to deal with those battle cruisers without much of an issue. But I think that, I gotta be honest, I think that Iris is going for the wow factor of the battle cruisers. I don't think it was so much of a thought of strategic switch to seal the game. I think it was more of trying to embarrass the new player Sonny, because Sonny isn't that big of a player. And it looks like he does have +3 weapons, and if he scans this soon enough, he will just pump Goliath. And then if he can hold those 2 new expansions or re-expansions that he put down in the bottom left, he's certainly going to be in a pretty good position to take this match away from Iris, who I thought had it firmly in his grasp.
Yeah, Iris definitely had the game in the bag, and you're right, he's probably just trying to show off, and let's hope it costs him, because I do think that you should kind of, it's fine to try and show off from time to time, but try and embarrass other players who are just playing an honest game, I don't think it's the right thing. I have no problems with people doing that to people like Firebat Hero, who do try and show off at the expense of other players. But now the battleships are going to come into play, and he's actually got about 8 battleships, 8 battle cruisers, so he's got almost a full control group. Now the dropships coming in for Sonny, and Sonny has got the Goliaths to actually be able to deal significant damage to Iris here, and Iris is just not even attacking anything. He's just losing, he's just suiciding almost his battlecruisers. Now he's bringing the siege tanks into play, but he's lost about 3 battlecruisers in the process of that, but he's actually wiped out Sonny's force. So it does look like our fears were unfounded, because he's now wiped out Iris's entire backup force, and by the time Iris brings more, he's going to lose this 7 o'clock expansion yet again, and I think Iris is going to be pretty much unstoppable. I guess the thing with battlecruisers is they can be weak if you can't support them with siege tanks, but Iris has got the economy and I guess the size space to be able to support his massive carrier group, battlecruiser group, with siege tanks, and that really is what's going to work in his favor. And I'm not sure if Sonny's going to have a reply for it despite his mobility.
Yeah, and now those battle cruisers are +1/+1 upgraded, and every upgrade that a battle cruiser gets is just hell for the opponent, because those upgrades add a lot of damage and a lot of armor to those already very powerful battle cruisers. So it looks like it is going to work. I don't know if it paid off so much as it will work. and I don't know what he's really trying to do by doing this, but whatever the case may be, I think the next player is going to have something to say to Iris if Iris does in fact win this. In the meantime, you're right, he's got a ton of tanks, man. He's got a great unit mix of tanks and battle cruisers, and that just having those tanks is going to make it very difficult for Sonny to really do much with those Goliaths. He's never really going to be able to get in range, even with the Charon boosters, which I'm pretty sure he's got at this point. In fact, I know he has because he's taken out a lot of the dropships, but he's not going to be able to do anything with them. And now he's lost that entire bottom left, so that means that he's essentially mined out completely at this point. He's got no mining command centers unless he's got the, it looks like the 1 o'clock position or a 12:30 o'clock position. He might have mining there, but that's the only mining he has. And so the unit composition here for Iris, look at him, he's just taking out all the units there, no problem. Tanks being dropped in the front lines, Goliath's trying to hang out in the back, so the tank's basically trying to absorb hits from the other tanks. And now, oh no, are we going to see Yamato? We are! Yamato's coming out from Iris, and this is going to be the nail in the coffin, taking out a couple of tanks. He's got Yamato, he's going to be able to take out tanks at will, which means he's going to be able to A-move with his other tanks, but oh, he loses one of his battle cruisers carelessly trying to Yamato one of the open tanks. And now, I mean, really, it looks like Sonny's just scrambling to do whatever he can, but unless he can really secure some expansions, this match is over.
Yeah, the problem for Sonny is that he doesn't have siege tanks anymore because he's pretty much producing Goliaths. Sonny still does have the dropship, so he can still do a little bit of drop play, and now he's sending command center, where the problem again for Sonny is that he doesn't have the resources, and he really cannot afford to lose his command center. He's coming in with a group of dropships and dropping right on top of Iris's tanks, and Iris doesn't have anything to support those tanks, but those dropships are coming under fire as well, and Sonny just cannot afford to lose anything right now. He is going to try and take back this 7 o'clock left-hand side base and position, because that's the only place where really there are any minerals left on the map, and he's got his Goliaths there, and Iris might find it a little bit difficult to actually break this defense, but looks like Iris is actually moving right down the middle towards Sonny's main with his battle cruiser group and his tanks. He's actually, no, he's going to try and turn around and come out for that 7 o'clock position. So this is going to be the key battle here. If Iris can win this battle, it's probably going to be GG. If he doesn't, he might be in trouble. Sonny's doing a good job of using those Goliaths to actually stop Iris from taking that expansion. So Iris trying to take the 7 o'clock expansion, not able to do so, but Iris still has the 2 expansions at the top right-hand corner of the map, and I believe they're still mining, whereas Sonny is down to the 1 expansion, and the other thing is that Iris has been mining for a lot longer than Sonny has. A Yamato catching the dropship as it flew past. That was pretty clever. Oh, and now Iris' group is just going to attack, move in pretty much, and take these siege tanks out with the help of some SCVs and the battle cruisers. And now Sonny's going to be in a little bit of trouble. And Sonny's trying to bring the Goliaths out to try and stop the Yamatos from the battle cruisers, but Iris has this time got his siege tanks positioned correctly and is able to support them. And really, it does look like Iris is going to now be able to close this game out, because Sonny's just not going to be able to get in a position to be able to get any sort of economy going. Sonny's trying to buy himself some time by pulling his troops back into that secondary of the 7 o'clock expansion around the 6:30 position while he gets reinforcements from his main, and he's actually trying to just run away now because his Goliaths were trapped, and Iris had them cornered and he didn't want to lose them. He's going to try and get those Goliaths to merge with his Goliath and siege tank group in the middle of the map and try and make a stand there, but Iris does have position there as well.
I'm actually a little surprised that Sonny hasn't GG'd already. Now that there are about 12 freaking battle cruisers out there, there's not much of anything that Sonny's going to be able to do short of 14 port wraiths or something like that. And it looks like pretty much all of his forces in the middle are going to be cleaned up by both tanks and battle cruisers. Girls in the audience laughing and snickering, happy to see Iris using battle cruisers. And GG coming from Sonny. So that is going to be it for Sonny. That means that Iris is going to move on to the next match. Klazo, what do you think? Was that a well-played game, or did we see some mediocre TVT there?
I think there was some good TVT to start out with, and then it kind of degenerated into showboating. It kind of fell down a notch. But, well, a win's a win's a win, and Iris has notched up the first win for CJ Antis.
All right, so let's get on to the next match where you'll be watching Iris face off against I don't know who yet. See you there.